The mystery of doomed flight MH370, which disappeared with 239 people on board in 2014, could finally be solved. Newscorp has revealed a new search is set to be launched this year as evidence is re-examined to reveal what critical clues were missed. Joining me live now is Newscorp senior correspondent Charles Miranda. Charles, good to see you. My co-host Pete Stefanovic also had a hand in putting together a documentary that will air on Sky News soon. What is the critical clues that perhaps were missed?
Look, it's not the exact smoking gun. It's not sort of a brand new clue, as it were, but there are 3 locations now that the experts have, crunching all the data, have said this is the most likely area. Now, these areas were missed last time. There was a certain theory and there was a certain corridor that they searched. They didn't search sort of parallel to either of those. So the experts have now come up with 2 or 3 locations, 2 are deemed to be high priority, that they say that aircraft will be there.
It's extraordinary, and I think what is most unsettling to people is that in 2020, we can do all kinds of things with technology. Everyone has their Find My Friend app on their phone, for example. That this plane could go down and still we don't have any idea where it is.
And look, that's part of the public obsession with this. Yeah. They've been following it very closely. Had you had a plane crash, and we've had many plane crashes, and I'd challenge the public to even remember some of those plane crashes we've had around the world, but this has been very different. This has disappeared, and certainly it's traumatic for the more than 200 victims, their families, but also for the public who say, as you said, we don't get it. We can track, Google tracks us on our mobile phones. Yeah. We can do all this sort of fantastic stuff, yet we cannot find this aircraft, and that's why there's such a great push. And those who are now behind this renewed search, hopefully sometime later this year, they're saying, we're obsessed about this. We're financially invested, but we're also emotionally invested to get a result.
So, Charles, are these new clues, and you said there's not a smoking gun, are they looking in a completely different area? And what has led to this new search area potentially?
Look, it's the crunching of the data. Now, there's 2 key theories. One theory is that the pilot or someone in the cockpit actively sought to ditch that aircraft. The second theory is it ran out of fuel and made a glide motion into the ocean. Now, that glide could have also been done by someone in the cockpit, someone with the knowledge of flying a Boeing 777. So the corridor that they searched before was an arc. It's known as the 7th arc, and it was where they call the last handshake. So there was a last handshake, that is a last ping to the satellite. They searched that immediate area. Now, this was at the back end of all the searches they had done. So they searched this last area and thought, OK, $200 million, we've got to draw the line in the sand, as it were, and they stopped. Now, the experts have crunched all the other data, all the other variables, looking at how much fuel it would have had it been ditched, how much fuel had it glided, and they've come up with 2 alternates, which they're now describing as high priority. These are 2 high priority areas adjacent to the search area. The terrain, according to the experts, and I spoke to Ocean Infinity, they're saying it's horrendous. It's very deep, it's mountainous under the oceans, and you could be out by a couple of kilometres and your sonar will not pick it up. So it's a matter of going those extra yards, literally either side of that search area.
So it's like a needle in a haystack, really.
Yes, but I don't know where the haystack is.
Right. that makes sense. So, I mean, I know Pete's been working on this as well, and there are also so many conspiracy theories around this, and when it's inexplicable, as we've just discussed, that's what gives rise to conspiracy theories. But if you could make a prediction, do you think we might have some more answers by the end of this year, or is it still a couple of years away?
Find that black box and there's your answer. I mean, that's all you need, literally. I mean, we talk about the debris, and we have 30-odd pieces of debris from the aircraft, and we talk about the high impact that those debris suffered, thereby suggesting that the plane was ditched suddenly in a traumatic event as opposed to a glide, all the rest of it. But they are just theories. They're best guesses. Find those black boxes and we'll have a definitive, this is what happened. This is what happened in the cockpit. And that's critical. Don't worry about the rest of the aircraft. What happened in that cockpit that turned that aircraft around? We know it was turned around manually. What happened? And the black box will reveal that.
Very unsettling and just a fascinating story, but one that we kind of all want some kind of resolution to.
Indeed.
A bit of anxiety for anyone travelling, which is not great. But yeah, thanks so much, Charles. Great to see you. Great work once again.
Thanks very much. Thank you.